Welcome back to Programming with C. In the previous lecture, we studied about some standard ways of input and output from console. That was we use a standard input-output stream. In this lecture, we are going to study about input and output operations from a file, and basically we are going to study file handling in C. C provides you with a lot of powerful functions for handling file systems through its library studio.h. It has inbuilt a lot of functions such as fprintf, fscanf, which are specifically designed to perform functions on a file. So there are four major steps of file handling. First, we need to create a file, or we need to attach a file to the C program. Then we need to open that file. Then we need to perform operations such as read and write operations that we need to do. And then after, we need to close the file to free the file pointer from the stream. So we would proceed step by step, and I'll first explain how to open a file. First, I'll just delete this. And now we need to declare a file pointer. File pointer is a struct that is already predefined inside the C libraries. So it makes our life easy on working with files. Now I have defined a file pointer. I need to attach it through a file. So I'll use the fopen function of C library, which is defined in stdio.h library, and as it shows that it needs a constant character and a constant character, so which means that I'll have to supply two strings. The first string contains the name of the file, say a.txt, and the second string consists of the method in which I want to open that file under, which means there are three kinds of methods in which you can open a file. Either you can read from a file, or you can write in a file, or you can append in a file. There are three extended ways in which you can open a file, because for some extensive handling, like you can read and write at the same time in that particular file if you open with a r plus sign, and you can read and write in the same file, and as well as create a new file if that file doesn't exist with a w plus sign. Also, if you want the same functionality of read and append as well as create a new file, you would use an a plus sign. But for now, I'll just create this open this file with an r extension and assign assign it to the file pointer. If any error occurs, that is the file is not found at the correct location, or file is not able to open itself, what we receive a null character inside the file pointer. So we need to have a check for this. So I haven't taught you about the conditionals in C. I'll be soon teaching you in another 2 or 3 lectures. So for now, you just need to watch how the thing happens. So this is basically that if file pointer is not a null character, then, or let's say if I say that if a file pointer is a null character, I would print on the console wrong file location or some error message, so that I get to know that my file is not found at the proper location, or I'm not able to open my file, and return with an exit status of 1. Here if everything runs normally, our main returns with an exit code of 0, which tells my C system that everything was fine and has been executed properly. But here I'm deliberately returning with an exit code of 1, which tells my system that something has not been normal. So if my file pointer was not null and has been opened successfully, now we need to perform certain operations. We will perform certain operations, and then after that we have to close it. So we closed a file with an fclose function, where we don't have to do anything but just pass the file pointer, which detaches the stream from the system. So now for performing the functions, let's now just read and print on the console all the characters present in a file. For that, I'll define an integer c and use a function called getC. GetC is a get character function I had already explained in the previous lecture, and this is a simple getC function in which I'll get a character from the file. Difference is that I need to provide the file pointer in order to get the character from the file instead of stdin, which was the standard input output stream. So here I need to provide the file stream so that it gets to know from the it has to fetch the character from the file. So I'll just use the simple putchar function, which I had told you in the previous lecture, and by default putchar function uses the putchar function is for the standard output stream, so it will print this character on the console. So for now, I would like to show you that I have already made an a.txt file beside my project so that it can get my file location easily. And I had just provide a.txt in my file location. Here, actually, I had to provide a proper file location, but as it is sitting just beside my file main.c, it can easily access just with the file name. So my file consists of a character a, and when I run the program, console gets an character a on printed on it, which means that we have been successful in getting the character and putting the character on the console.